survive and thrive, test of life, and may come your way to walk in destiny and purpose.
When the sun don't shine and you don't know why, look into the eyes of the broken hearted. Watch them coming. Soon as you speak hope, love. Hello, hello, hello. We are back. Sharon Dotson and
Wayne I. Dotson.
we are back to speak some life to you today because we know God is going to be good to you. Just hold on. Help is on the way. We're here, God, to enlighten you, to enhance you, to inspire you, to give you a hope like never before because God wants you to have the very best. So get ready, because we're coming your way to speak some life to you today.
Yes,
Wayne, how you doing?
Oh yeah, Mom, I'm good. It's Friday. Let's have some fun.
Let's
Turn
have
up.
some fun. Yes, yes, yes. Radio World, we are so excited and we are so blessed to have someone very, very special to our hearts in our midst today.
Right.
We have him, and I'm going to let Wayne introduce him.
Okay, Mom. Well, you guys, this guy is so amazing.
Yes, he is.
He's been a great mentor to me. Ever since going from when I was 12, mostly going on 13, 14 years old, like he's been in my life and knowing him in the youth ministry at the church.
Yes.
You already know the church, New Birth.
Awesome.
He's an artist, a good rapper, a motivational speaker, pastor and minister, all the above.
All the above.
So, hey, and y'all already know, he is the son of the notorious Bishop Apostle Eddie L. Long.
They're great.
Yes. So I introduce you guys to Mr. Edward, a.k.a. Ed Long Jr.
Love to hear it. Love to hear it. How y'all feeling?
Yes.
Oh,
We're
yeah,
feeling
great.
Outstanding. Listen, I'm really proud of you, man.
Thank you so much, G.
Let's set it off like that. You know, I remember when you wouldn't speak. I remember when you didn't talk, and it's almost like you were a mute child. You follow me?
Yep.
And to be sitting here doing a mother and son radio show, hosting and all of that.
Thank you.
Downtown in the A, you know what I'm saying?
That's right.
Is a testimony in itself. I don't think I've ever seen this. I don't think I've ever seen a mother and son tandem on air. So y'all are breaking some barriers already.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Let me. I just want to share a little bit about that, and I'm so glad that you.
She gave me that push
because one thing, and you know him, you knew him well. One thing I do remember is how he was so quiet. But he always used to say, Mom, I'm going to be great. I'm going to be great. And I'm like, Lord, what do you have me to do with this child? Because he still keep talking about being great. And because of our great apostle or Bishop Long, we already knew we were called for greatness anyway, because I poured it into him. But one thing I will thank God for is I thank God for you. Wow. I thank God because you don't know it, but those times you talked to him and said stuff to him, he came back home. Wow. And he told Mama, he said, Mama, Edward said this and Edward said that. Even when the time I think you said he was going to give you some clothes or something. I said, you know what? And he's always been independent because he never wants me to do anything for him. But I just thank you for pouring into him. I thank you because this is your seed. Wow. This is something that you did, that God allowed you to speak life into. And look at him because God's going to bless you for this. And we have been praying and hoping, that you will come so you could see him in his zone where he thought he would not be able to do it or that he could do it. I told him one day, I said, God told me, he said, tell him to put his 2 weeks in. I said, Isaiah.
At Kroger.
I said, Isaiah, put your 2 weeks in. God said, we moving forward. And we didn't know what he had for Isaiah to do. But one thing I know is if you trust God and do what he says and have that crazy faith, it works. So when we walked in for our second show, right, Isaiah, our second show.
Yes, ma'am.
The administrator who was here at the time, she asked one, she said, hey, you want a job? We was like, what? I mean, God instantly gave him a new job. And because of that, he's doing commercials. He's doing, he's beginning to do voiceovers. It's so much going on. And God is going to attribute that to you.
Wow. I would take
because you played a major part in it. And I just want you to know that because I believe in giving people their props.
Listen, we can run with it. Normally,
so, hey, it's in your hands now.
Normally, I would be dismissive, but my mentor has been on me about, listen, it's okay to be celebrated. So thank you for sharing that. I would take it.
Because the blessings are coming behind it.
I'm proud of you. I remember, I think it was Tuesday nights where we would have those production classes.
Yes.
And you would come. You never want to say nothing. You be standing back close to the wall. But to your point, you never know what somebody is observing.
Oh, yeah.
And it tells me that you are a curious observer, as Dale Bronner would say. You're one that's like a sponge and just sucking a lot of stuff up.
Yes, definitely.
And in the right time, it squeezes, it oozes out of you.
Oh, yeah.
Even in those late radio shows you had. Oh, my gosh.
Yes.
Yeah, you knew everything. You played all of that.
I'm so confident right now. I was like, dang, I would have did all that stuff with you. But, hey, I guess.
Now is the time.
Hey, yeah, it's all in God's time. And
no regrets.
Yeah. Of course.
Yes.
I live better with no regrets and just looking at the now time of what I can do, and I'm not scared. Stop living in fear.
I love it. I love it. Well, I'm here, man. Let's get it in. I know you got questions, and maybe I got some answers.
Yes, of course. Well, for starters, we could talk about this book that you read, that you had a book signing last year for this book called Son of Bishop. You discuss all your life details and what to prove and what's to come and like what you learned. So in details, if you want to discuss that, go ahead.
It's all good. You know, that's just a memoir, if you will. I mean, I can still be writing that book right now.
No, that's right.
Stories and all of that. And that's a summation of about 14 stories that I'm just sharing about my dad and I. Things he taught me, things that I did get, things that I didn't get at the time he was speaking it. And then as the old folks say, you keep living.
Keep living.
And then things will begin to resonate. It's like, that's what he meant. You dig?
True.
Also, you know, it's things that I was trying to share with him that, you know, maybe he caught, maybe he didn't catch. But the point of the book is not so much to share all this stuff about our family and our relationship.
Oh, yeah.
I was once told, never tell a story just to tell a story. Okay. But you tell a story to make a point. And these are 14 stories making 14 different points to help families, to help parents parent now, to help young adults, to help children, to help grown adults who are dealing with different things and navigating through, you know, different spaces in life. And these aren't negative things. I want y'all to hear me, be very clear.
Gotcha.
You know, these are things like, how do you raise your child concerning sexuality in this world that so many different municipalities and different principalities are trying to step in and tell you how to raise your children? So we work through that. I tell a story, one chapter called Sex Ed.
I saw that.
Where I'm telling how my dad navigated the situation concerning the school system and what they were trying to expose us to. And so there are many parents who are like, listen, the schools are trying to teach this and expose my kids to that, and I don't know how to navigate through it. Well, Bishop Long, my dad, has an answer for you on how to navigate that. And it's right there in the book, Son of Bishop.
Yes, I saw that in the way what happens. And, you know, it was a life lesson. I know from his perspective, him as a bishop, because he didn't want you to learn all that through the school stuff. But, hey, with me, I learned it back when I was 13. Remember, Mom, when I was... when I was 13, remember you registered me for vow purity classes at the church, and I learned a lot of stuff. Even though there was some stuff I could learn, but then if y'all weren't there to, like, if y'all never got a chance to show me, then I learned from the vow purity classes.
To expound on it. Expound on it, because like you said, so many instances you can get the wrong information and it can cost you in life. You know, so it's good to be able to have a parent or someone who is willing to get the information.
Exactly.
Because there's so many things that we all as parents got from Bishop Long to help us help you throughout your journey. You know, because I'm telling you, it was some stuff that he would say. It's like he was in my household and he had the answer. And I didn't even have to go up to him, not one time. but he was able to pinpoint what I needed to tell my children, my family as a whole. So yeah, I understand what you mean, Wayne. It is all about getting that knowledge.
Yes.
It's about what he's saying, getting some stuff that you normally wouldn't get, because Bishop Long he could hear God for the people of all days. He could get a word to you that will make you stop and look and listen. You know, and I just thank God because of the gift that he had and how it's passed on to you, how you are so bold and you don't play, but you give us truth. You give us realness. And I know that about you because I've watched you. I see that in you. And I consider myself such a blessed parent to have allowed my son to be able to be in your midst. You know, not about all up in your face and him having problems and something. No, I can handle that. Exactly. And because of that, I'm able to maneuver so he can see you in your zone and look at the zone he's in now.
He in his
exactly.
bag.
Yes. And due to that and all that, I learned to stay, I'm happy throughout what all I've been through. I learned to stay humble. I learned to stay the good kid that I was raised with. You and Dad taught me. And just learn to just go with the flow and learn how to stay mellow and not always think about what everybody else thinks, what the comments of other people, and not be buried in fear like I mentioned. Because like back when we had them production meetings when I was 16 and you challenged me to minister the word of God to anybody at my age or younger. And I know at the time I probably didn't know how to do that because I was at times, you know, in school, being a teenager and going through the phases and whatnot, I thought I'd be embarrassed. But now I'm like overjoyed. I can overcome, tell anybody the story about God and how he works and prayer and how much it works.
Yeah, you tell them about your first gig.
Oh, yes. Yeah, I did had a gig back. A lady who was our guest on our show, Pastor Portia Mentor.
Okay.
And my mom knew her from back in the day when I was at True Life Church. And we had a session here, and then another session when she did a one-on-one session with me about the youth. So, and then a few weeks later, she invited me to her church for a youth revival, and I was supposed to be the MC, but I ended up being main speaker.
And it was amazing. It was amazing.
Speaking about a call to action. It's on my YouTube page.
That's a dope title.
Yes, that's what she gave me. So I came up with scriptures, came up with some experiences that I can share with everybody, and it was a enjoyable experience. And I felt good about it. I was nervous, of course, but I gave it my all and told my life story. Share that motivation with everybody who can listen.
And you know, Radio World, that's what it's all about. We have a special guest up in here, Edward Long, and we are so appreciative because, you know, he spoke life to Wayne. He spoke into his life, and because of him speaking life and not death, look at the things that God has allowed him the favor to do. And, you know, he gets the credit. God's going to bless him for that. And that's what we're saying. Speak life. Speak life to your young people. Tell them what they need to hear, not what they want to hear. Tell them what's going to keep them so that when they get older, they will not depart from what they've heard from you and God. You know, and right now we're going to have a song. And we're going to
this is your favorite.
Oh, yes, it
Edward,
is.
It's one of yours.
Favorite.
I got one of yours.
Gosh.
Okay.
So we are going to listen to this awesome song.
And he talks about how to treat a woman in the real way.
She keep the crib clean, wine in my jeans. She feed me breakfast.
To my head.
She cover me.
Ah.
Lay out my clothes while wiping down my toes and leaving me little cards filled with words from my heart.
Yeah.
Cleaning and washing, chicken and steaming and frying. Just look at them jeans that she rocking. With some so classy and stockings. Pay up for me is evident. She never leaves me.
Never.
She took the rest and she said,
Good. Good all over. Man.
got my own Miss America. She treat me like
Whoa.
a king and in return I take care of her. Sophisticated, make me feel like I'm the greatest. Folks dreaming about heaven, well I made it. She make me feel she does love.
I told y'all. We
Yes.
told y'all. Man, what a rapper.
Yes. You got
And the
skills.
words, those are words of life.
Come on.
That's words of life.
Come
Yes,
on.
man.
I'm telling you, and it's for all generations. Because I'm going to tell you something, I can understand you. And you got so much in there that is so true. Oh, my gosh.
We were toting the line with it. It's all good.
Yes.
It's all good. It's all good. All good. Edward, we just want you to just expound however you want. This is your show.
Yes.
And with what we are talking about, what you want to talk about,
Mhm.
speak some life to the radio world.
Hey, listen, y'all been speaking like me. I like when you talked about the empowerment, you
Yes.
feel me, and also being blessed
Yes.
through the seeds that we plant.
Yes.
Dr. Dollar, Creflo Dollar,
Mhm.
Wow.
really shared some comments once that revolutionized my look
Mhm.
on what blessings are and cursings are.
Gotcha.
Because it sounds spooky, but when we understand that blessings are simply the ability and the empowerment to do,
That's good.
that just makes it a lot simpler.
Yes.
When we are blessed by God, you remember my dad used to have us doing the chant.
Oh,
We
yeah.
are blessed.
Yes.
We are blessed. We are
Yes.
blessed. Just to work it in you, to massage that into your spirit.
Yeah,
So,
in your
you know,
spirit.
if you're listening right now, understand that you are blessed, simply meaning that you are empowered to do whatever it is that you are called to do, set
That's good.
apart to do, born to do, purpose to do, etc. And so it's a tragedy then not to do
Yes.
when we've been equipped and empowered to do. Because the antithesis of that, the opposite, is a curse, which means that the enemy, the adversary, is trying to take one's ability
Yes, ability.
to do away.
Mm.
There's an older gentleman.
Mm.
I miss him dearly. He's my grandfather, my maternal grandfather.
Wow.
I talk about him a little bit in the book.
Sorry.
And he used to say something to us. He would say, you know, you better use it before you lose it. And so some people are walking around underneath maybe a negative spell
Yeah.
or a curse spell because they don't feel that they can do
Right.
because they never use what they had.
Mhm.
That's why Solomon says that youth is a gift.
It is.
My dad would always say, why? Because by the time you figure out what to do with it, you're too old. So I celebrate you, Wayne,
Oh yeah.
because still in your youth, you're beginning to do.
Oh yeah.
We never want to be just a watcher. I talked about how you are watching, a curious observer. So some of the stages of success are to learn. But after we learn something, then we got to go apply it so
Walk
we
it
can
out.
earn.
Yes.
We can earn some revenue. We can
Yes.
sell. We can do other
Yes.
things. And then you slide into a space of return where now you're planting seeds and you're
That's
leading the
good.
next
That's
generation.
good.
But I'm watching you as you're leading your peers from a standpoint of learning something to now I'm doing, I'm applying, I'm earning. You employ it now in the space that you were learning about. And so many people can follow that blueprint. Learn it because you're blessed to absorb this information.
Oh,
But the other
yes.
part of blessed is I'm not just blessed to learn, I'm blessed to do.
To do.
So now I got to go. That's why it's faith and it's works.
That's right.
Believe it. You say, I'm going to be great.
Yes.
But now show us what that greatness looks like. Go do it. Get off the porch.
That's good.
Come on out here and run with the big dogs. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah. I got
And so
you.
celebrating you while encouraging others who may feel limited,
Oh,
who
yeah.
may feel cursed, if you will. Cursing is a spell. One may have spoken that over themselves. I don't feel like I can do this. I don't have the means
right.
to. I don't know how. These are words, they're spells that one is speaking over themselves.
That's right.
Or the adversary may try to talk someone into not doing what they have been blessed to do. So that's a curse.
Yes.
It's a spell. But what breaks these curses or these negative spells? A good spell.
A good spell.
Called the gospel. The gospel.
Yes.
And so that's why you're in this space on this type of gospel network,
Yes.
because you're dispelling negative spells.
Oh yeah.
I'm sure people have told you, Wayne, that don't make no sense. I'll be honest with you. Some days I may have looked at you and said, well, I don't know about this.
I know.
I don't know. But then I had to keep praying for you, because even as a mentor, mentors have to be careful not to project negative spells on mentees, but continue to speak the gospel.
Yes, sir.
You hear me?
Yes,
So
sir.
that we can propel to where you are
That's
now.
good. That's good.
So whomever is listening right now, understand that you can destroy any negative word that has been spoken over your life
Exactly.
by speaking the blessings, reciting the gospel over your life to dispel any other spells.
That is so awesome. Amazing.
Hallelujah.
Amazing. Just like we do here on Life Speakers Radio Show, Speaking Life, the way that God gives it to us. And God just gave him that to give to you, Radio World.
Yeah, and never
Take
be
advantage of it.
and never be ashamed of the gospel. Never be like listening to music or just ministering the word of God to everybody. Just like I mentioned, I can tell anybody and everybody to believe and trust that He'll do it for you.
Yes.
And also with social media going on, and I want to say shout out to my dad. He brought the idea of this question with how you with the kids and the generation with social media. What's the best solution? Do you say with that? Because I know a lot of friends. There are some friends who are on it, and then some friends who are not. But some friends who are on it and don't spend that much time because it's draining. So, what's your best solution with that, E?
Anything that we do, we got to do it in moderation. I was talking to our team. We do a prayer call every Wednesday. We call it our Wednesday, W-I-N-S.
Wow.
Oh, yes.
Wins. We're going for the win. The victory is ours. More than conquerors. D-A-Y. Every Wednesday at 1 o'clock p.m.
Okay.
Listen, you can text text L-O-N-G to 404-999-5787. You'll get a link. Click that link and register.
Oh, wow.
So you can be a part of it every week.
Yeah. Can you say that one more time?
Text LONG, L-O-N-G, to 404-999-5787. And so I was sharing with the team this week that it's important that we understand not to be fearful. You know, we're in a few different shifts. Seasons are changing right now.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
you got this new COVID that is emerging. We're getting into the political campaign season. All right. Literally, the weather's about to change.
Yes.
That's why a few people got tickles in their throat because the air has been more windy.
True.
The days are starting off about 17 or so degrees cooler than they were starting off the previous month.
Yes.
All right. Then, excuse me, you see what's going on now. You got the chair situation down in Montgomery. Then you got the chair situation in Detroit. You know, people are talking rumors of racial wars, you know, and this tension. And we got a lot of shifts going on.
Yes.
Then we have the tech shift. AI is not new, but it's being marketed in a way now. And it's exploding, if you will, now. And some people are a little afraid of that. And AI is all in the social media. Whether people knew it or not, that's what the algorithms and all of these other things, artificial intelligence that regulates what you see and listening to you when you speak and advertising and bringing all this stuff to you. And there are even some neurological components to it. That's why you can think about something or say something and you start to show up on your feed. Here it is. Understand that this is the world that we live in.
Yes.
And so we are called to be in the world, but not of it. And if it's consuming all of your time, then you're not in it and not of it. No, you of it. If it's always consuming you, then there's no balance, there's no boundary, there's no standing up and taking a stand for how much of this you're going to be involved in.
Wow.
Versus and be entertained by, be distracted by, or whatever, versus you're in it and being impressing versus being impressed upon.
Gotcha.
And so there has to be this level of moderation, all right? In order to be moderate about something, you got to be aware. In order to be moderate, I have to now be intentional to say, I've committed X amount of time to this. So now I need to detach for X amount of time. And it's in every life. If you spend too much time with somebody, well, I haven't spent enough time with the Lord. I've eaten too much. I haven't fasted enough. There's an intentionality that has to come with anything that we do. Awesome. And so the challenge to your peers, you know, and emerging generations is develop a mindset young of knowing thyself.
That's good.
If I could encapsulate everything I'm saying, is that we have an identity crisis and many don't know themselves. That's the trick that the enemy used in the beginning. If you want to be like God, then bro, you already like God.
All right.
But offering us something that we already are. You're already beautiful. You're already creative. You're already wonderfully made, all these things. But if you spend too much time in that space, it's challenging you and has caused many and may cause others to now forget who they already are and now looking for ways to identify themselves through comparison that can lead to all type of mental issues and depressions and things of that nature. And so go into something knowing who I am.
That's right.
Here's a challenge for us all. Whatever it is that we're doing, go into it with a measure of confidence. If it's a new job, walk into this saying, I'm called into this space by God. And so I'm not going into this space to conform to this culture, this environment. Right. I'm going to have an impact. On this culture and environment. I am going there to have an impact. Will I be impacted? Absolutely. But I get to regulate what that impact is. Y'all don't determine my self-esteem. Y'all don't determine how I feel about myself, how I see myself, and all those different type of things. We can evolve together. Yes. We can be transformed together in the image of Christ. But I go in here boldly understanding who I am. So if you popping open that social media, whether it's TikTok or it's Instagram or whatever, don't go in here trying to find out, I got to look like this person. I got to get,
that's right. That's right.
We go in here understanding I am going to infect with a kingdom spirit, a kingdom mindset, a kingdom disposition.
Yes.
That is how I would coach you in speaking to your peers and speaking to those who are coming up behind you.
Thermostat.
Image. Thermostat versus a thermometer. Come on, you with it.
Yes.
And understanding intentional moderation.
Exactly. Just like I always say before, Mom, it's like you ain't got to be nobody else. You being you, that's enough.
That's enough.
Just like I always say, you are enough.
Yes.
And hey, that's just a real main topic. You ain't got to be no one else. You ain't got to fit in, like be this person to fit in with a certain group of people. Just learn to be you and stay in your truth.
Be the leader.
That's good.
Leader, never a follower.
Radio World, we are so excited. We've got to have you back.
That's good.
Yes. Please let us know when you can come back. It's yours at any time. Because Radio World, this is amazing. This speaker, this motivational speaker, this everything that God has done in your life, you're sharing it, you're caring for people. And I am so amazed. I'm so thankful for this opportunity that you took time out to come and speak some life to the Radio World today. Radio World, we just want to thank you for joining us. We want to thank you for coming in, and we hope, or we know that something was said, but we hope you take part in it and receive it and allow it and apply it to your life so that you can be successful and continue to speak life to somebody else. Wayne, say goodbye to the people.
Oh yeah, peace out, y'all. Much love, and like I just said, you are enough. And also be sure to pick up Edward's book, Son of a Bishop. So please, any way you can search it, just look for it and contact them directly. You can.
Edward, you want to say one more last words too?
I'm just proud. I'm really. This is a proud moment to see a seed really sprouting.
Yes, it is, and it gets better and better.
Yeah. Yes. So listen, you already know. Don't stop. Keep going. Keep learning.
Just like Diddy said, can't stop, won't stop.
I got you. Keep earning. Keep applying.
That's right. It all comes together. When you're doing something great, money will follow it. Thank you, Radio World. Have a great day. And we're going to leave with one of Edward's songs. And we just thank you for joining us. Have a wonderful day.
Exactly. Peace out.
Uh-oh.
wanna get lost. I wanna get lost.
I wanna get lost in you.
I wanna get lost. I wanna get lost.
I wanna get lost in you.
I'm trying to find. I'm trying to find.
Press
I'm trying to find
love.
all your goodness. I'm trying to find.
Oh,
I'm trying to find.
babe.
I'm trying to find strength in all your greatness. I've been searching for you. I've been looking around. Got my head to the sky and my shoes on the ground. In every town, in
Every city.
wherever I roam, I want your spirit with me.
Lost in you. Right.
Listen, y'all did that.
Thank you. You
so
did that.
much.
Awesome, amazing. We do. Whenever you have some time, please let us know so you can come on back. 'Cause
All good.
that was some good life speaking.
Wait to the people if you want to, Ed.
It's all good. Don't stop. Keep going. We in here.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, this is good.
That's awesome.
So y'all are live every Friday.
Every